Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
Yo, we on? Yo, what's up, y'all? Come on in. We about to get into this. Y'all see the title? We got Terrence Howard speaking out. We got Corey Holcomb speaking about the music industry. So we're going to get into these topics, man. We ain't going to hold y'all too long because we know y'all enjoying y'all Saturday or whatever. But we had to tap in with y'all with these topics real quick. You know, more and more people speaking out about the music industry and how a lot of these artists, people's coming for these artist catalogs. Yeah. We just seen the Angie Stone situation previous, you know, so we're just gonna get into this a little bit more as more people speaking out. So we got Terrence Howard speaking about Sean Puffy Combs and the things that you know, that's being, you know, coming about with that whole case or whatever. So recently Terrence Howard was on. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on, y'all. And pull this up.
Ain't even Terrence, he's Lucius, man.
Oh, he's Lucius Lion, man. Yeah, my bad. Lucius Lion, man.
Lucius be lying, man.
Lucius be lying, man. So recently he was on you know, the PBD podcast on Value Entertainment. Y'all know he do a lot of interviews with a lot of the celebrities and all that. He speak about a lot of this stuff on his podcast. So Terrence Howard was up there talking about Diddy. He asked him about Sean Puffy Combs. So Terrence Howard had a mouthful to say, no Diddy. So we're gonna get into this. So this is Value Entertainment. Why you know what I mean? And we're gonna go ahead and get into this.
This was from the PBD podcast.
Yeah, PBD podcast. Right.
Go watch the full interview.
Right. So let's go ahead and get into this.
It's a short life.
Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Why do you think that is with the creative side?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. You know, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it.
So he's basically speaking about these, you know, these artists, these actors and all that doing drugs to cope with the industry, to cope what's going on in the industry, the things they got to do to get in position. You know what I mean? So a lot of them don't want to do it, but they figure they work hard as hell to get there, going through Juilliard and all these School of Performing Arts, to get all the way to Hollywood, and got to be seduced in a room and shit. All that hard work, and you get put in a room, and so a lot of people fold under that because they like, damn, my career on the line. I worked hard to get here. So a lot of them just start, you know, going towards drugs. So let's continue.
They got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it. A man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, you're talking about giving up that, you already know. Let's continue.
I'm saying
giving up the gluteus maximus.
You don't get that back.
The gluteus.
Giving up the gluteus maximus, man.
Gluteus. All right.
The gluteus maximus.
All right.
You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater
So basically, like,
desire. You should have a greater desire.
so basically, those being promised something to do, you know what I mean? To do something, get promised something. Same thing they said with Bill was promising them women, you know, roles and you know, stuff like that, and had them doing, you know, some things strange for a little piece of change, you know.
Desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they...
Yeah, have y'all seen Justin Bieber lately? Like, he be pressing the live stream button, and he just be doing acting like he zooted out his mind, bro. And he's probably coping with all the stuff he's dealing with, and it's just eating him alive, bro. We see how he was crying in that one interview. Yeah, it's Justin Bieber is he's basically whatever he went through in that industry is tearing him apart, bro.
They were drunk or high or whatever. You gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process, I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequence when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off, or talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in the room.
They ain't lying, because look at Terry Crews when he was at the mansion party. He grabbed his nuts at the mansion party and sticking his tongue out at Terry Crews. Big ass Terry Crews with all those muscles. Let one of them exec grab his balls, and he ain't do nothing about that. Yeah. Shout out to OG Patrice. What's up, OG? Yeah, Terry Crews let them, I mean, he spoke out about it, but, he felt like that the dude was so powerful that he couldn't really do nothing at the time. But shit, man, that nigga did that shit in front of that man's wife.
For them to be comfortable to do that, they must got a reputation.
All right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody ain't gonna just go up to a nigga like Terry Crews and do that in front of his wife without him not already having some type of reputation. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. You know what I mean? Especially, just think about that.
Yep.
Like,
facts. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And when a man walks into a room, and a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
I know.
just told you, 1982, I went full-time into the ministry. The Lord called me full-time into the ministry. I preached before thousands in Africa, thousands in China, in every city and hamlet in America. How old are you?
I'm 35.
I got to suit your age. That's why you don't know. I thought maybe you did your homework before you interviewed me. Hollywood, I've never had anything to do with any kind of clique. I'm not a cliquish person.
Right.
I had followers. When I grew up, I had the kids followed me. They followed my dress style. They followed the coolness, the way I walked. When I was in the war, I was a leader. I ain't never followed nobody. So these cliques, I could tell you things about people you named that the little Fruit Loops. They bend over Billies. You cannot make it to the top in that industry without selling your soul.
What do you know about the brother that just came forward, Christian Keys? You heard of this young actor? He just came forward and said that he was sexually harassed by a billionaire Hollywood person in power. There's assumptions of names. Is that something that happened in your industry? Like, were you ever, respectfully, I'm asking you as...
Again, here you go. My industry. It's not my industry. I'm a Broadway actor. I came to Hollywood. Wait a minute. You didn't do your homework. I'm going to tell you. I came to California. I did a film in Canada called The Dealing or the Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Bag Lost Blues. I went back to Broadway and I was at the Public Theater. Al Pacino was down there. The late Ron O'Neal was down there. You had a lot of actors that became famous that were down there working for Joe Papp in the Village at that theater. It's renowned. And Walter Mirisch from Mirisch Studio, from the Mirisch brothers, came to New York and he cast me in my first major motion picture, The Organization, with Sidney Poitier. And that's why when I first came to California, we shot it in San Francisco and people saw the dailies and they liked my work. And so I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna move out there because I'm getting a lot of offers and I don't want to be doing this bi-coastal thing. So I moved to California and I did Mission Impossible and a couple of TV spots and then All in the Family. And then I got a phone call from Bud Yorkin and he asked me if I wanted to do a series with Red Fox. So I've never been a part of any of that nonsense. I don't respect those people. I don't care about that. I'm I told you I had connections. Nobody was gonna say nothing to me.
I get it. And it made me think when you just said kind of the comment about some of the people that we've known in the industry and what they might have to do to get to the top. Can you give me
all of them? All of them. You name your biggest black actors, you name your biggest white actors, you name your biggest female Latino actresses, they all have to do it.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.
So it don't matter if it's your favorite actor and you idolize them and all that, they had to do it too. That's basically what that man is saying. Everybody has to do it.
Right, especially ones that been on TV for like the past 30 years.
And they actors, they gotta act like they didn't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can do that easily.
Right.
What they do, they mask the pain with drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones you see, you might be like, man, they talented. Why they ain't getting more movie roles? Because they ain't want to give up their gluteus maximus.
But Cat Williams said, he said What he say on Shannon Sharp, John? He said you got to tell P Diddy no. He said compromise. He ain't want to compromise his hold or something like that.
Yeah,
Brother.
but I mean, put it like this though. I mean, what the industry doing, is that technically illegal? Because are these people giving their consent? Is that
Right.
full consent? Now what they're doing with the kids, that's something different. That's something different. But with the adults, I mean, is that illegal?
No, that's good.
Of course, this is poopy ethics. You know what I'm saying? It ain't good ethics
pun-
right there. It's
no pun
completely
intended.
it's completely unethical.
It's a poopy ethic.
Right,
No.
exactly.
No pun intended.
Exactly. Exactly. Y'all get it. The gluteus maximus. Anyway, yeah, it's unethical, but is it illegal? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's like if you tell them no, then they just, you know what I mean, they just move on to the next person.
Right.
And you ain't even necessarily got to be talented. You ain't even got to be talented in Hollywood. Tell you the truth, you just gotta do what they tell you to do, and you'll get big roles.
That's what they saying.
Yeah,
that's what they saying. That's what
that's
all
what.
of
Yeah, that's what they saying. Yeah, that's what they saying. Yup.
They all been coming out and saying that. A lot of them keep quiet, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them have spoken out. Yeah, bro.
So to be that big actor that you want to be, big actress, that big rapper, singer, all of that, you gotta give up the gluteus maximus. Now it's illegal if they doing it to the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or,
They got
forcing, or any
right.
type of forcing, you know,
right,
you know, doing it without a person's consent.
Like, or using some type of spice drugs.
Yeah, like spicing a drink up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Passing out and doing that. Yeah, that's not consent.
Yeah, facts.
That's a crime.
That's definitely a crime.
Going to jail. You should be going to jail, buddy.
For real. But the ones who fully submit and be like, all right, whatever, and they get the act done, and next thing you know, they get the big role. I mean, that's not illegal. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely messed up. And that's why a lot of these celebrities do be on a lot of drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? They be messed. Their lives be a wreck. They got the good career.
Y'all gotta see Justin Bieber, bro.
They not fully winning, bro. They not fully winning. Even though they live in that lavish lifestyle, they gotta bend over when the next man tell them to do it. I mean, that's heaven for a person who's already in that lifestyle and that mindset. Like a person that's already living that type of way and out there like that. Yeah, I'm seeing. I mean, I guess that definitely fit a person like that. But for a person who just they're acting or they singing or whatever they do, they're dancing, whatever they do is they everything, and the only way they able to actually make a good living off of it and get the, the eyes that they want to see from the world of their talent, they got to bend over for it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy right there. That's crazy right there. I mean, to tell you the truth, that industry, I mean, everybody knows already. This ain't even.
Yeah, this ain't nothing new.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why we all just say, what everybody gonna do about it? Because everybody love hearing about it being talked about, and what people gonna do about it? Because ain't niggas fed up hearing this all the time? Like we all know now. What now? What now? What everybody gonna do? What's the action?
The ones that
solutions.
The ones that the act has been done to, they need to speak up.
They have been. A lot of them have been.
Yeah, like, I mean,
a lot of them have been.
Yeah.
Now what? I mean, one dude went to jail. What's the dude? The Weinstein character. He was a big, apparently, yeah, I mean, allegedly, he was the biggest when it came to that, the industry couch, the casting couch, and all of that. He was the biggest when it came to that,
Yeah.
and he's behind bars now.
Yeah,
But
halfway to
apparently,
good.
it's a lot more out there that
Yeah.
people ain't saying the names.
Nope. Yeah. And this ties in to our next topic. Shit, and they after these catalogs, man. They after these artists, big catalogs, man. A lot of them is not getting the royalties. You know, for the ones that is kind of like, you know, maintaining their, you know, their success. You know what I mean? They don't even probably know how much longer it's gonna last, man. Yeah, so let's get into Corey Holcomb, man. He said he's worried about Mariah Carey, you know, because, you know, they've been knocking off all our, you know, musical heroes or whatever, as far as Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, and them, you know, and it's all over the music catalogs. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this, man. Need y'all to hit that like button if you haven't yet. And let's go ahead and get into Corey Holcomb speaking on the Cam Newton podcast, which y'all can watch the full interview on Cam Newton's channel. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
I feel the people who are really in charge of the music
You good?
Good.
industry killed our best artists. Michael Jackson was murdered. Prince was murdered. Whitney Houston was murdered. This is what I believe. I'm putting it out there. When you're in that music game, you're not going to leave with nothing that makes you rich. You're going to leave dead. Do the research. Check out I'm talking about our greatest artists.
But this is a conspiracy theory, though.
That's what they call it to make you feel better about it. But I'm saying, who in the music industry? I can't believe Mariah Carey is still alive. Sister, I pray for you all the time. Your catalog game is popping. I can't believe they ain't.
Hold up, though. Pause that real quick. I hate when people say it's a conspiracy theory because a lot of the celebrities that ended up dead came out and said that they were after them, that these companies were after them. Aaron Carter specifically came out. Michael Jackson specifically came out. You know what I mean? And said Sony was the devil. Yeah, and they was following Mariah Carey around. You know what I'm saying? Her Tommy Mottola dude was following her around, having her phones bugged. Aaron Carter specifically said that they tried to set him up and claim that he, you know, committed suicide. So that right there. So how is that a theory when a lot of these celebrities came out and said that these companies were after them? How is that even a theory at this point?
Because a lot of people it's going to go along with, you know, the mainstream narrative of that it's a conspiracy theory because they don't want to get checked out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because they got a career that they trying
to. Yeah. So
right.
If they start going off and speaking about it, because they can knowingly know in their mind and in their heart that these things are true, but they're not going to be open about it because it's like you ain't allowed. This is forbidden for you to even speak on it when you maintain a certain position in the industry. Like, don't even speak on this. It's like when T.I. started talking about COINTELPRO on his page, like he put it up and then snatched it down within like 10 seconds. Bro, we got that.
It wasn't even. It was MK Ultra.
Yeah, MK Ultra. I mean, yeah, MK Ultra, not COINTELPRO. It was MK Ultra. And you never hear him even speak about that. Like he's posted that on his page. I was able to snap. I was like the only person that got the snapshot because you know how when they delete something, it don't totally disappear in a wall unless you refresh your page. So I was able to snap because I went to the comments to see what people. I'm like, why the hell T.I. posted about MK Ultra? Then I go in the comment section, but the John was gone. So all the so I knew he deleted it. So I just snapshotted it, which I think is still on our Night and Day network. Since we got our big channel back, we might have to, you know, go back in the tuck and get that T.I. Live stream because that's on our channel. That's on our main channel. You know what I'm saying? Which we
Yeah,
got
we
that
might have
main
to do
channel
another
back.
live stream about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we gonna bring that joint right back since we got our channel back. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
getting tired of hearing these niggas talking about some conspiracy theory when it comes to that. I don't want to hear
right.
that word any. It's certain words, and that's one of the words I hate hearing. Conspiracy theory.
Right. Yeah, we ain't. Yeah, that ain't what we doing. It's conspiracy facts at this point. All right, so let's get into this, man.
Worried about her. I'm worried about her. Mariah Carey got a real catalog. At one time, she was one of the best vocalists in the world. I don't think they're going to let her leave with that.
Second to Whitney Houston.
I feel the people who are really in charge of the music industry killed our best artists. Michael Jackson was murdered. Prince was murdered. Whitney Houston was murdered. This is what I believe. I'm putting it out there. When you're in that music game, you're not going to leave with nothing that makes you rich. You're going to leave dead.
Dang.
Do the research. Check out I'm talking about our greatest artists.
But this is a conspiracy theory, though.
That's what they call it to make you feel better about it. But I'm saying, who in the music industry, I can't believe Mariah Carey is still alive. Sister, I pray for you all the time. Your catalog game is popping. I can't believe they ain't came and got the sister. I'm worried about her. I'm worried about her. Mariah Carey got a real catalog. At one time, she was one of the best vocalists in the world.
Yo,
I don't think they're going to let her leave with that.
I agree with them to a certain extent. The thing is about these companies, they play the long game. They wait till after she died and buy it from her family.
Right.
They do that.
Yeah,
they do that because I feel like Mariah Carey is one of their favorites. I mean, I don't feel like they're gonna go after Mariah Carey personally. That's my opinion.
But Mike was
That's
one
my
of the
opinion.
stupid.
Nah, Mike started speaking out against them, and Mike
Whitney,
crept away.
Whitney ain't speak out.
Mike crept away.
Whitney
Mike
was
crept away.
Whitney was one of their favorites.
Yeah, but Whitney had a mouth on her though. Mariah don't. Whitney didn't play. They don't like the ones who mouthy and start talking a lot. You know what I'm saying? Of course they who didn't love Whitney? They love Whitney because, you know what I mean, the industry loved her because she's a money magnet. And she's magnetic, period. She's magnetic. They love magnetic. You know what I mean? But if you magnetic and you talk too much, they don't like that. That's and Whitney talk. Mariah don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? You never heard Mariah speak out publicly against anything or anyone.
Nah,
they love that more than anything. They love that more than anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. Mariah, they play the long game. They wait till after she passed, and then they get it from her family. The family will sell.
Yeah.
Sell it back to the company. Yeah, I mean, they didn't sit around and wait for that.
Now, this is I remember we did a report on this. Michael Jackson nephew straight out came out and said exactly. Siggy Jackson came out and said exactly how he felt about what happened to his uncle. So let me know if y'all can hear this real quick. Let me play this.
Nah, that John ain't playing. You got yeah.
All right, let me stop it.
Stop. Start. Yeah.
Let me share it again, y'all. Hold on. All right, refresh the page. So there from the beginning. All right, this is Michael Jackson nephew, Siggy Marley.
My uncle didn't die. He was murdered. I feel the same thing about Prince, because you have to remember, these are basically insurance policies. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. We're not talking about $100,000. We're not talking about $1 million.
I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. Several billion. They really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Yeah. My uncle didn't die.
Yeah, man. We know how the tragedies end, man. We know how to end with these artists. We do these live streams all the time, and we can date these things back early. You know what I'm saying? Jimi Hendrix, the Sam Cooks of the world, all these different artists that came forward that try to be innovators and branch off and do their own thing.
That's the key right there. Boom. That's what make them get. That's what make the companies get violent. What you just said right there.
Branch off and do their own thing.
Boom.
So they're like
that
Big
right
Red.
there.
They're like Big Red and Fire Heartbeats.
You never heard about Mariah Carey branching off from those big companies and doing anything.
Nah.
She owns all her masters. That's true, but you don't never hear about her starting her own distribution and all this type.
Right.
The ones who talk like that, you know what I mean? They always end up unalive. Even Tupac. Even Tupac was talking about leaving Death Row and starting his own everything.
Yeah.
As soon as they start talking like that,
look at Diddy, the old Black Party.
Right.
Remember he talking about the Black Party and starting his own political party called the Black Party.
Right.
And look what happened.
And they usually take the ones out who the masters they already own, but then they come back and say, where's my money at? They take them out. The celebrities that ask for their money or ask could they buy their masters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that they take out. The ones who already own their masters, they already got a special relationship with these companies. And it's probably like an unsaid thing, like you just never leave us. Right. And yeah, you can own your masters.
So Jay playing ball.
Jay playing ball. Hell yeah, Jay playing ball. What?
Playing ball.
Jay playing ball, but they still got their eyes on his masters though.
That's why they said Gayle King. Hey, Jay-Z, what you ever think about selling your masters? He said never. No. So he said Gayle King in there to fill him out real quick. Like Gayle King, we know you can go in there and do it. Go in there and ask that man about all that book of old stuff was set up to ask that man about his masters.
You stupid.
All that whole interview, her going in there doing the interview for the book of old was all set up just for her to ask that man about his masters. You know what I'm saying? Gayle,
That's
you ain't
the whole
slick.
thing was about, huh?
Right. Gayle thinks she's slick.
It wasn't about nothing else.
About nothing else. All that stuff was all the rest of that stuff was smoke screen. You know what I mean? Smoke screen, bro. That's it. At the end of the day, Jay-Z,
you ever think about selling your masters?
All right. You ever think about selling your masters? He said never. He said hey, that's for his kids. You know what I mean? Passed down. Now you remember when Madonna with this message to the elites?
That joint ain't no sound.
Ain't no sound. Here we go. StreamYard, y'all got to get it together, bro. Y'all got to get it together, StreamYard. Y'all bugging.
You ever think about selling your masters?
Right. Yo, Madonna catalog crazy too. Yeah. They playing the long game. Madonna joint crazy too. Then she did start her own joint called Maverick. She did start her own label, but that was still controlled though. You know what I mean?
But let me ask you something. Why do it seem like all the majority of the white celebrities be owning their masters, but not the black ones? You know what I'm saying?
The niggas ain't the masters.
Because the niggas ain't the man. He's stupid.
They ain't the master. They own. I mean, they own. Music destiny, bro. They get put on all that money. They get put on with, and them deals like you catch a person coming straight from poverty, or coming out of jail, or coming from, you know what I mean? It's them deals, bro. It's them deals.
Yeah, these niggas never own their masters. Like, why?
It be them contracts, bro. They be catching niggas in the vulnerable spot when they just down, coming from nothing. They ain't got nothing.
Sometimes it's that. Yeah, that's a big part of it. But then I feel like sometimes it be the artists themselves that be effing up though. Yeah, I mean, because they don't be stressing it enough. You know what I'm saying? They don't be, because some of the artists that been in the game for a long time and still don't own their masters, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, I thought it was like a 20-year span where you had to get that back. after 20 years. Like I thought the 20-year thing was still in the play. I don't know. Like I thought it was like, you know, they eat off you for 20 years and you get all your stuff back. Do that still apply? Do that still stand? It seemed like it doesn't. I think because these new 360 deals keep getting people tripped up too. I think it's these new 360 deals, bro. I think that came along to F the industry up.
And all the artists that own their masters, they filthy rich.
Yeah, they are.
Just from licensing out their music,
Just
they don't have to tour as much as other artists who don't own any of their music.
Yeah.
They can make a lot of money just licensing their music off.
Right.
Michael is gone. Tupac is gone. Prince is gone. Whitney is gone. Amy Winehouse is gone. David Bowie is gone. But I'm still standing.
Yeah, for now. For now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
it'd be crazy, bro. That's because they catalogs be worth so damn much, bro. It's like, hey, we know where they heading with at with this whole, switcheroo. We plan on doing with these people catalogs, so I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I don't know how Ye don't own all his music. All them big ass deals and all that, what the sneaker deals, the clothing deal, all that, and you wasn't able to be in position to buy your masters back.
I don't know, bro. It was
like, how wasn't he able to buy his masters?
Yeah. Maybe
he don't own all his music.
Who knows? Maybe he wasn't offered to buy it back. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to buy it. Who knows? I don't know, bro.
Same thing with R. Kelly. Well, yeah. He wasn't gonna let.
Yeah, they ain't gonna let. Yeah.
But you see what I mean? Like always the black ones. Like always the black ones. Don't never own. It'd be a small percentage of the black ones that own their masters, but majority just don't own them.
Yeah, but look where they got it, and then most of them end up selling theirs anyway. Most of them, like Michael Jackson and State, they sold all that back to Sony. They bought all that for $750 million. They got the Beatles rights back. They got all that stuff back that Mike had. They bought it. They bought it all. They bought half of his catalog back. So it was worth $1.2 billion, right? So they bought it for $750 million. And I think he might still got a couple pieces of his catalog left. But other than that, they bought most of that back. Yeah, they bought most of that stuff back, bro.
Like I told you, they played a long game.
Yeah. Like back in I think it was 2019 or 2016. One of them.
You see, they played along. That's why I said I don't really think Mariah's in danger because they just get it after she's gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or she could be. Who knows with this industry? You never know. Who knows? Who knows?
They ain't steal it back. They just bought it back for $750 million.
No, I ain't say he stole it back. I'm saying
I was responding to somebody in the comment.
Oh, somebody in the comment.
Yeah. Mariah owns her masters for now, but it's like you said, man. A lot of these artists die with nothing, bro. They still end up losing it. It's like
facts.
Like the house always wins at the end, bro. For some reason,
Casino.
Even when they pass away and they still retain it, it's like the family members start getting worked on. And they start selling off you know what I mean?
That's because niggas be needing bread.
Because they be blocking
lifestyles.
The lifestyles.
Niggas trying to live a certain lifestyle that they didn't work for themselves.
Yep.
They gotta start selling it off.
And that's Michael Jackson's children and his mom. Like Biggie, like look, Miss Letta Wallace just passed away, and the very couple days later, Pave, what's their name? Pave something, bought all the Biggie's likeness, his catalog, his likeness, his image. They bought it all. They sold it all to them. You know what I mean? For $100 million. Yeah. Yeah, because his mom already got all that stuff back from Puff already. But then a lot of these digital streaming companies is getting in bed with the AI companies, so they just going up buying up everybody's stuff, bro. They going around buying up everybody's stuff. And the more, and like you said, they got to keep up with a certain lifestyle. So the more costs go up, the more people, financial strain, they start getting desperate. They start selling off things, man.
Start selling off pieces, right?
They selling pieces off, bro.
Debt and all that. Sometimes niggas be getting sued.
Debt.
It be all types of. It's all types of reasons. Just life, period. Just life.
Yeah.
It's just expensive as hell to live here, and it's even more expensive. Yeah, I mean, if you got something, because of course, your lifestyle costs more.
But now I see what a lot of folks is doing from that industry. They just going to move to other countries where it's cheaper to live.
Right.
I noticed that. Like the percentage of people leaving this country and going and relocating the percentage is high as hell right now. And that ain't even just celebrities. I ain't even going to just
that's not just celebrities.
Yeah, just people in general. The percentage is higher.
Facts.
For people leaving and relocating because it's cheaper to live in certain parts of the world.
Not even just because it's cheaper, it's just a better living quality overall. Period.
Now, just living quality, but mainly they ain't got to be in financial strain because everybody I watch, videos I watch that said they move is like they ain't got to deal with that financial strain anymore that they was dealing with living in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's another thing. So a lot of these artists, they at the end of the day, they're gonna sell off their masters, bro. You know what I mean? Now Jay might be in a different position where he got other things in play where he don't have to do that.
I don't think Mariah Carey is gonna sell off her masters.
Yeah, but I don't think Mariah will neither.
And I don't think Madonna will neither. Madonna already said, I'm never selling my masters.
Yeah, Madonna already.
She already came out publicly and said that. She said, I'm never, ever selling my masters. Never.
Like you said, they played the long. You say they played the long game.
They played a long game. Eventually, they get it at the end. They got plans for people like Madonna, Jay-Z, Mariah. They got plans for them.
Because Mike said he never sell his. Mike wasn't selling his catalog, but after he passed, family. See, that's the thing.
Exactly.
They can count on your family. Selling off. Pieces of that back. And financial strain.
That's because the machine, because a lot of these companies is the machine lasts longer than the families do.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just how it be. The machine, because once that celebrity or whatever is gone, the machine is still there, waiting in the shadows.
Like the casino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gambling all, you know what I mean?
They always going to consume.
Right, you hit big, but they comp you like hell just so you can stay there until you play the machines back again and whatever. Put all your money back in the machines and lose it all again.
Right. Right, the machine, yep.
All right. Oh, thank you, Medusa. Say I'm loving 90-day skincare product. Yeah, we do got high quality skincare products. Y'all definitely need to buy from us. That's what we specialize in. Herbals, like herbal soaps, detoxes, and it's all natural stuff. We don't, no fillers, no synthetics, no, and all of our stuff is lab tested too. So,
right.
I definitely want to check us out over there.
All the sea moss is 25% off. I know a lot of y'all love that sea moss, fruit infused sea moss. Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
we got the
sir.
coconut sea moss, the pineapple sea moss. We got all types of different fruits. And then the we got the tea, the sea moss teas, herbal teas. We
Yep.
fully stocked on all the CBD. You know what I mean? So those of y'all who like our CBD, we fully stocked on that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know what I mean, the hair care, skin care product, the soap, the body oils. You know what I'm saying? The shampoos, conditioners, whatever. We got it, man. Y'all come over to nightandayherbals.com. Get your shop on.
Get your shop on. And make sure y'all subscribe to our main channel. We got our big channel back. So make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to Night and Day Network LLC. All right. Yep.
Yeah, this was a fire live, man. Make sure y'all share this. Get this out there.
And share this live stream. Surely appreciate y'all coming through. Like, that's anything else you want to say to the people, man, before we get up out of here?
This has been sponsored by nightandayherbals.com.
Yes, indeed. All right, we catch y'all on the next one, y'all.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.